Dear learners, welcome back to your educational channel Learn and Educate, where we were studying about the provisions of the Income Tax Act 1961. In this video, we would be study about the definition of word tax. What is the meaning of word tax? As per Section 2, Clause 43 of Income Tax Act 1961, tax. Tax in relation to the assessment year, which will commence on the first day of April 1965, that is, from the assessment year of 1965-66, which begins on 1st April 1965, and in any subsequent assessment year, which means that for any subsequent assessment year after the 1st April 1965, tax means the income tax. Tax means the income tax which is chargeable under the provisions of the Income Tax Act 1961, and tax in relation to any other assessment year income tax, and super tax chargeable under the provisions of this act, which is prior before the aforesaid date mentioned of 1st April 1965, and tax third parties tax in relation to the assessment year, which would begin on first day of April 2006, and any subsequent year thereafter, includes the fringe benefit tax which is payable under section 115 WA, that is the tax payable on the fringe benefits as per section 115 WA, that is charge of fringe benefits, wherein in addition to the income tax which is payable under the Income Tax Act in 1961 for every year, every assessment year, which is would commence begin on or after the first day of April 2006, an additional income tax, that is a fringe benefit tax with respect to the fringe benefits which is provided or deemed to have been provided by the employer to his or her employees during the previous year, it shall be levied at the rate of 30% on the value of the fringe benefits. The fringe benefits means any privileges, any services which has been provided, any free concessional ticket, any contribution made by the employer to the superannuation fund by the employer, any facility which is provided directly or indirectly by the employer to the employee, whether by way of a reimbursement or directly paid, that is the fringe benefits. And on the value of the fringe benefits, the fringe benefit tax at the rate of 30% which is payable, it would also be fall under the definition of the tax. Therefore, the tax paid on the value of the fringe benefits which is received by the employee from the employer, whether directly paid by the employer or when that value is reimbursed by the employee to the employee by the employer with respect to the transfer, the security, the sweat equity shares which is directly given by the employer to the employee, the specified security, and the fringe benefits which has been provided by the employer to his employee with respect to the employer, which has been in the course of his business, which is given in the course of his profession, and whether or not such activity with respect to the object of deriving income for profit or gains or not, any expense which has been provided, paid by the employer with respect to the benefits deriving to the employee would be under the definition of fringe benefits. Therefore, the tax includes the tax which is applicable, payable by the assessee with respect to the assessment year beginning on first day of April 1965 and year after that, every assessment year. And that is the Income Tax Act. As per the Income Tax Act, the income tax payable, and second is the fringe benefits tax, which is payable commencing on and year after first day of April 2006, as per the provisions of Section 2, Clause 43 of Income Tax Act 1961.